time until she gets back. So I'd like to take this time for a segment I call Meet the Actors.
Hey, what's up?
Hey. So, why did you become an actor?
Well, my parents didn't really love me enough. So this is my way of filling that gigantic hole in my heart.
I don't really like actors.
Hey, sorry I'm late.
And we're ready to go to recap.
Once upon a time, there was a princess who kissed a frog who happened to be Trey talking fish. She was caught by a fisher girl who wished for gold, but instead became a witch. She tried to eat 2 kids. One of them grew to make a deal with the devil and enchantress and a weird little man for her firstborn child, would eventually be locked in a tower before having all of her hair cut off and meeting a prince in the desert, and there were no crab people.
Simple, right? Back to our story.
You see, the girl who married the frog had a mother.
Most girls do. It's a real problem. Remember, guys, if you want to know what kind of wife you're going to have, just look at your girlfriend's mother. Because that's who she's going to become.
You ever wonder why you're single?
No, I know I'm single.
Anyway.
My standards are too high.
Anyways, once upon a time, there was a dwarf.
I prefer a little person.
In fact, 2 dwarves.
I prefer dwarf.
And these dwarves worked all day in the mines.
I've been working on the rails.
Mines!
With the wire work. With the
You
wire.
can't use that song either.
I do what I want.
No, it's like copyrighted. You literally cannot use it. The mouse will sue us. So they worked all day in the mines, and they sang their little songs, until one day they came home to find...
What the heck is that thing? Ah, she's huge. She's gonna eat me. Run for it.
You see, in those days, most people were cannibals, which would explain the witch from before. But the first dwarf, who we will name Dopey, I mean Slappy, wasn't afraid.
I like the ladies. So, baby, I couldn't help but notice that you were my
But
best.
hey, this is a children's story.
So I'm gonna chop you up and eat you.
No, time out. No.
I'm just going with what my character wants here.
You do not get to eat Snow White. You're not the villain of the story.
No, look, alright. I've been doing some character work recently. Safi's had a hard life. He's been discriminated against for being a dwarf. He works all day underneath the surface of the earth, and he's got the black lung, you know. He hates it. He just hates it.
He does not.
So when this giant chick comes into his house and sleeps in his bed, dinner time.
Look, we're doing the story as written. Snow White cleans house for the dwarfs, and then she gets poisoned by an apple, and then a prince shows up.
You know, maybe we should just let the dwarf rewrite the story.
I don't know. I don't like the look of him.
Alright. So I got another one. I've been cursed by an evil witch, and now I have supernatural powers.
Besides, sometimes the originals are, how do you say, bad.
Oh, really? These are all classic stories. Classics.
And now, I can animate zombies! Who's wanted to animate zombies?
Classics, let me show you a classic. 191, Lean Lisa.
Ever heard of it?
Are we doing Snow White or Sleeping Beauty? She's alive!
Why is it that I have to cook and clean for the dwarves? If I'm a princess, shouldn't they be cooking and cleaning for me?
Okay, both of you stop, okay? We're doing a new one. Lean Lisa.
Never heard of it. Am I beautiful?
You're lean.
Skinny. I've always wanted to be skinny.
Ever thought about ingesting tapeworm eggs? Really cleans you out on the inside.
Oh. So anyway, one night Lean Lisa and her husband, Long Lawrence, were laying in bed together.
Do I get to be Long Lawrence?
Yes.
Dear husband, I was thinking.
Trying to sleep, woman.
I'm tired of being poor and hungry. What if we took the cow out in the field and tried to get him to have calves? Then we could sell the calves and have more money, and we wouldn't have to starve.
Sounds like a lot of work.
You're lazy.
Bite your wagon tongue, woman.
And she died. The end.
Is that really what that story says?
Yeah, right here.
Wow, that sucks.
Can I go back to being Sleeping Beauty now?
She's alive!
thought you were Snow White.
Can anyone really tell the difference in both ways?
All I'm saying is that these stories need a new way of being put together. Some spice here and there, you know?
We could put together a big budget musicale, told from the perspective of the witch.
Or we could just follow the dwarf's lead.
Fine. You know what? I don't care. I don't get to narrate the story anymore. I'm sure a dwarf can talk much better than I can. Go ahead. Take my place. See, I care.
Sounds good. You're a dwarf one. You're a dwarf two. I'm the new narrator. Am I still Snow White? You're whatever you want to be, honey. Call me. All right. So, once upon a time, there were these two dwarfs who worked all day underneath the surface of the earth for revenge on the Upworlders.
Horseshoe Upworlders.
And one day, they came home to find a giant woman sleeping in their bed.
Hey, look. A giant hottie.
Ah, she's huge. She's gonna eat me. Run for it.
Hang on, dwarf number two. I'm tired of running. I'm tired of being a supporting character. I happen to be quite brilliant, and I know for a fact that this giant hottie has fallen under a curse to sleep for 100 years.
Isn't that the Sleeping Beauty story?
From my perspective, they both look the same. And the only way for this giant hottie to wake up is to receive a kiss from her true love. Me.
Wait a minute. Aren't you a little too short and too girly to be your true love?
Look, if I was a frog and I kissed her, she'd love me forever.
Okay.
So I happen to be a dwarf. Big deal. She's gonna grow to love me.
And with that,
I'm not really comfortable with the whole kissing part.
go ahead. Kiss the woman in a coma.
This is like a Lifetime movie.
Can I just shake your hand or something?
Please, I don't think she brushed her teeth today.
Can I brush my teeth?
Well, something is a little rank over here.
Sorry. That was me. The beef and catering just tear me up on the insides.
Can we get back to the story, please? You're ruining my magic.
Ah!
It was love at first sight.
Oh, you're a dwarf.
Little person.
Yes, I am the mighty dwarf Sloppy, and I have rescued you from the evil curse that was forcing
I
you
was
to
just
sleep for
tired. I
100
was
years.
under
I
a curse.
am your true love.
This is when you break out into song.
I don't know words.
It's all right. I wrote it down for you. I kind of knew this would happen.
That's what you've been working on.
Yeah.
There once was a girl who fell in love with a man about 4'2". He had a beard and a big red nose, but I loved him through and through. And I didn't care about facial hair because he had a heart that's true. So I gave him my kingdom to sweep and cook him stew.
Yeah.
And I knew my place. I didn't talk back because that's what good wives do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I cooked dinner and cleaned the house and left the thinking to you.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I don't want to do this anymore. What? You're doing fine. I like your voice. It's got that desperate quality to it.
The next verse says I fetch him slippers and don't mind when he gets drunk.
Perfect marriage.
Oh, this is disgusting. I am a modern woman.
Well, then you're never going to live happily ever after then. I'm going to tell the story my way.
Oh, come on. Now everyone's doing it.
Are y'all even going to need me anytime soon?
Yes, we're starting over right now.
Once upon a time, there was a beautiful girl.
You're going to be Snow White this time.
Oh, really?
It reminds me like of my 4th birthday party. It was a dress-up party, and of course, I invited all my friends and they came up. Some came dressed up as Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Others came as Boba Fett, and I think one of my friends came as that weird thing from the McDonald's commercials, but that's another story inside itself. But I, of course, came as my favorite princess, Snow White, and I had my little dress, and I was the prettiest of them all!
That was the happiest day of my life. Until my mom told me I was a boy.
Wasn't she the one dressing clothes?
Yeah!
And moving on.
She was the most beautiful girl in the entire kingdom.
I am the prettiest!
But her stepmother was jealous.
Snow White,
Stepmother!
is that a zit I see on your face?
You like that, wouldn't you?
I do believe you're putting on weight.
On this body? I don't think so, sister. These curves are tight and streamlined like a race yacht owned by a rich Colombian drug dealer.
I think you might want to tweeze your eyebrows. They're looking puffy.
My eyebrows are sculpted in the hands of a blind god sculpting eyebrows. Who writes this stuff?
Just go. And the stepmother went to her room and gazed into her magic mirror.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all?
Well, it's certainly not you.
Curses!
Hey. That sounds like a good idea. Curses, you know? Yeah.
Meanwhile, Snow White had other plans.
Mirror, mirror, hanging on black hooks. Why must I be judged by my looks?
Fashion magazines.
But I'm so much more. I've got brain skills and I know martial arts. And I plan on being one of the 7 sisters after I graduate, where I plan on double majoring in social psychology and women's studies.
I only respond to rhyming questions. Besides, those aren't real majors.
Okay. Mirror, mirror hanging over there. How do I make the young people care?
Put it in a rap music video with hot chicks.
That's not a very good idea.
It was her stepmother.
Stepmother,
Snow White.
Snow White.
Stepmother.
Look at me and notice fair, Snow White. For I have a lot of money and have been through a lot of plastic surgery in Hollywood. My bust points north, my skin is as smooth as a lake after a storm, and I've had all my tattoos lasered off. I've tucked, stuffed, vacuumed, and erased every visible trace of life experience in the past 27 years. And now I am more beautiful than even you.
Not quite.
Dang it! Well, how about an apple as a peace offering?
When are you going to learn, wicked stepmother, that we women should not be judged by our surface beauty, but rather by the contents of our brain?
That's just stupid.
Well, how about I take you out there with martial arts skills?
Oh, it's not.
Oh, yeah!
Hey, I was just in the neighborhood looking for a girl to come and make out with him. Whoa. Stick fight.
And it was a glorious battle.
Ow, my hair! Stop!
Go Snow White.
A titanic struggle of good and evil, purity versus compassion. Until finally,
I shall transform myself into a black dragon. Mwaha! Ha.
no, that was the Sleeping Beauty movie.
I thought we were doing Sleeping Beauty.
This is Snow White.
Take that, bitch!
I'm melting.
Actually, I'm bleeding. Ah!
That was so hot.
Like somebody else I know, parents.
You're very forward.
I'm a modern woman. Come on, let's go get married.
And just then,
Hi-ho.
What did you just call me?
Look, I've been living with a bunch of other dwarves lately.
I've heard enough. You're lucky to become my servant. Come on, let's go.
and they all lived happily ever after and avoided traditional gender roles. And the 7 little dwarfs cooked for them and cleaned the house and did all the other junk that Snow White was supposed to do in the story. The end.
That was enlightened.
Thank you.
And they had a son, Walt, who grew up to be a very handsome young prince. But he was rebellious and didn't like to do chores, which would have been fine. But unfortunately for the royal family, they had forgotten about the witch.
Which witch?
The witch which watched Walt's wish.
What?
Watch.
Gosh, it's tough being a prince. I wish I was something like, I don't know, frog?
Done.
Yay, now we're talking frog. This sucks.
I thought she just got stabbed to death.
You only thought she got stabbed to death, but in reality she escaped by sending her soul 15 years into the future!
I'm not sure this makes a whole lot of sense anymore.
Do you want to get through all these or not? So what was